It's all about Eric, not
That'd
me.
be the outtake, Dick.
Yeah, it's about Eric, not me, right?
Hey, don't put over there. If you need them, just ask.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to All Services Leadership Communications Series. My name is Hayden Ryan, and this season is called Hot Seat, where we answer leaders of our company burning questions while eating spicy chicken wings and sometimes sour candy. Today's episode features All Services Director of Strategic Pricing, Eric Milostan. Eric's been with the company for 7 months. He graduated from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. He started his career in technical sales, then moved into product marketing and innovation, and eventually grew into pricing and deal management. He's been a consultant in the healthcare industry, worked for companies ranging from $200 million to $15 billion, and has even taught a couple higher education pricing courses. He's from Warren, Michigan. Eric, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
How do you do with spicy food?
Not too well. I just heard free lunch and I jumped on that, but other than that, I wasn't really prepared for the spicy, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see if that was a smart decision.
Right.
So, cheers. This first one is a chili maple sauce.
Oh.
Goes good on breakfast, eggs, whatever you're feeling. So, cheers.
Cheers.
So, Eric, what was it like growing up in Warren, Michigan?
Well, you know, Hayden, have you ever seen the movie 8 Mile?
I have.
All right, with Eminem, and he's going from Detroit after his rap battles, and then he's actually that rundown trailer park. That's in Warren.
Okay.
My upbringing was nothing like that. When I grew up, actually, the GM Tech Center was just starting out. GM built their tech center in Warren.
Okay.
And a lot of the engineers and middle management were moving there in the new suburbs were being built there, new subdivisions. And I was one of those kids that moved in just as a baby. And the school was good, had a lot of good friends. And I tell you, I played a lot of tennis, especially in high school, played a lot of tennis and thought I was really, really good and had a future in it. That's until we played Grosse Pointe and Bloomfield and realized that my future would not be in sports of any kind.
Great. So, Eric, our next wing, this is a curry verde, about 2.5 times hotter than a jalapeno, they say, but very good flavor, kind of like a Thai green curry. If you've never had that before. Mm-hmm. So, awesome. So, ready.
Cheers.
Cheers. How you doing on the spice levels? Is it hitting you yet?
Oh, no, this is
good. So, Eric, let's talk about pricing.
Sure.
You've been with the company for 7 months. This is the first time any of our brands have had any pricing leadership position. A lot of people are wondering, what is strategic pricing? Can you tell us about pricing and what you want to accomplish with the strategic pricing effort?
Sure. Well, strategic pricing is really the methodology of pricing you want to use to compete. And there's many different strategies you can use. There's cost plus, there's value pricing where you look at what the customer values and price accordingly. There's competition pricing where you look at what your competitors are charging. And then there's more niche things like penetration pricing. I really look over these next few months to really do 3 things. And the first is to make sure as we integrate that we have consistent pricing across the brands. Then after that, I want to move into really supplying the sales force with better pricing recommendations, with those guidelines. And then from there, really work toward making sure the pricing is fair to the customer, yet sustainable for all services. Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Cheers. No, I like that one. It's good.
So, Eric, it sounds like there's a lot of work to do for pricing, both with integrating all the brands and optimizing experience for our customers. How are you going to accomplish those strategic pricing goals?
First thing is look at data. Lots and lots of data. I mean, that data doesn't end. There's a lot of it. Thank goodness I have a lot of help from IT on getting the data. Karen, Ephraim, and Joe have been very helpful. And then I've got a lot of great help in analyzing the data, and Evan has done a great job in helping with that.
Okay. Awesome.
Beyond that, that's just the beginning, though. Then you have to really look at both from the customer perspective and the sales perspective. And the sales and product leaders have been really good. I've been collaborating with them, and they've really helped me understand what the value, what the customers value, some of the gaps that we have, some of the pain points on the sales side that we can work on fixing. And then that includes the regional sales managers, and the same kind of thing on the operations side with the regional operations managers helping me understand on the counter business as well. As you know, we have two types of business. Yeah. From there, it's really looking at some of the inputs. So I've been working very closely and collaborating with procurement. As you know, with our bigger size and growth that we have, we're able to partner better with vendors, and as they give us some better pricing on our part, we can then, I'm working to pass that on to the customers, our customers, to make that a better partnership as well. I think so far it's going well. The last thing we need is to really understand how we're doing. So I've been developing some metrics and working very closely with our finance department on there, and the finance leaders, and Derek's been extremely helpful helping me develop some metric reporting.
Awesome. Our next sauce is a Chico Ghost, kind of like a little spicier mole. You can get tones of chocolate in it, and I really like this one as well. It's kind of a sweet flavor to it, surprisingly. But
cheers. Oh, I like this one.
So we kind of touched on this in the past couple of questions. Where do you see pricing going in the future? We're talking about right now with integration, specifically crunching through the data, but what do you think the next steps are?
Yeah, I think the next steps are really looking at segmentation. We've got a little bit of segmentation that the pricing team has done, and we're rolling that out as we speak. But we really need to go further. We need to better understand our customers' needs, their wants, where things are going in the future. From there, it's not just pricing, but it's the whole business knows where to invest, knows how to solve any issues, knows the market better. And that's where I see us going in the future. And then, of course, I want to handle all the pricing needs and support the pricing for each of those segments.
Awesome. Great. Well, thanks. How you doing? How's Spice going?
I feel it. This is very good, though, but I'm starting to feel it a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. You'll see next couple ones, it starts to ramp up, especially around this area. But for now, I think under the next one, which is a Los Calientes Rojo, kind of a sweet apricot and fruity habaneros. This one's been very popular across all of our interviews so far, so hope you like it.
It's good.
If you ever want any of these, just let us know. We can hook you up for it.
Yeah, it sounds a little off-putting. I don't think I'll take a bath in it, but maybe eat it.
Eric, you've started some volunteer work with the Citizens Climate Lobby for bipartisan climate initiatives. Can you tell us a little more about that organization and how you fell into volunteering for them?
Oh, sure. It's a grassroots organization. It's actually international. And what they do is supply information and some training and to all the volunteers. And the volunteers, such as myself, works, in my case, at the state level. Okay. In Minnesota, we work with the elected representatives to influence the climate policy. Okay. Reason I like it, it gives me a chance to both use my technical capabilities, skills, and also my business acumen, and it's in a bipartisan way, so that I enjoy that a lot. Sure. How I got into it was actually a good buddy of mine is done it, and highly recommended it to me. He's the same guy that came down to New York when I lived there to visit me and went to college with me. And I was showing him a good time out, show him how much action there is in New York. And that's the night we met my wife. She had just got done with some volunteer work she was doing for a fundraiser for a charity, and she brought all her friends down there, and my buddy was talking to her. So I did kind of a sidestep and kind of cut him out and said, "Oh, you mentioned volunteer work. I'm into volunteer work." And look at all these years later, my buddy made that true statement. So that says something.
Our next sauce, Eric, is called Moo Snake. This is typically where it takes a little bit of a step up. This is kind of an Indian-inspired, like a curry, Indian curry. A lot of flavors: cinnamon, cardamom, cumin, but it does have a few Scoville levels higher. But cheers.
Cheers. Yeah, you can taste the curry.
Mm-hmm.
And you can taste the heat.
Yep. This one kind of grows a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's at the end.
Yeah. Pricing impacts all areas of the company, including finance, IT, sales, operations. What can sales expect from the pricing effort specifically?
Well, the first thing is better guidance, which I said before. And then from there, good processes, better processes as well. And then over time, what I want to do is give them more tools and have more automation to make all these processes very seamless and very quick as well.
Yeah, awesome. So really it's helping them, being a big support tool for them so they can go out and be able to do the job more effectively.
Absolutely. Yeah. And quickly too, when it comes to the pricing part.
Yep. Absolutely. Awesome. So Eric, our next sauce is called Jalapeno Chico from a company called Adobo Loco. It's a wine company. Smoked jalapeno is what you're going to get from this, I think. So, cheers.
Cheers. Definitely getting hotter.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The spice does grow in this area.
Grows in this area too.
Mm-hmm. Eric, what do you most enjoy about your role within All Surfaces?
It's really working with the people. When I first started, I got a chance to first meet people from all the brands on teams, and then the opportunity to travel around to most of the brands. And I'll tell you, we've got a lot of great talent, and as a pricing professional, that's really required because I can't implement anything by myself. So it's working with a great group of people. And then when I did travel around, I noticed each brand has something unique to offer, which in my mind goes right to, okay, we're going to have some really great best practices coming out of this. And then I saw a lot of good commonalities as well, which I think will really help us lead to, as we build our culture, our business culture, that will really come into play as a great foundation.
Our next sauce is called the Bomb Evolution. It's hot. I've tried to kind of elaborate on it a little bit in past interviews, but it becomes more and more difficult every time I have to eat this. So best of luck. Cheers. Cheers.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least with the heat, you get crap flavor to go.
Yeah,
with it,
I was
so
just going to say, at least it has
too.
some flavor, right? But doesn't mean that's a good flavor.
Right.
Took you, as the spice is kind of growing, I feel like this is the perfect time to ask. You've lived in a number of places, including Grand Rapids, Milwaukee, New York, Chicago, and now Minneapolis. I need to know, which city has the best pizza? Detroit thin crust, New York thin crust, or Chicago deep dish?
Well, we have brands in 2 of those locations. So, of course, I'm going to pick New York. For an everyday pizza, I think there's nothing better. That said, when I have a beer, I love good Detroit pizza, like Louis or Buddy's. We didn't even call it Detroit pizza back then, by the way.
Pizza?
It's just pizza. And then when whoa, this does get hot. When I want dinner, a real meal, nothing better than Chicago deep dish pizza. And then you can get a salad to go with it. Their salads are great. You can pretend like, oh, I'm eating healthy because you're eating vegetables, but that's awesome. Stay away, and I'm trying to offend a few people, and you know who you are. Stay away from the Chicago thin pizza. You don't cut a circle into squares. It's just unnatural.
Right. Circle. Like the pizza needs to be a circle with triangles and a square box.
Exactly.
Right? Awesome. So, Eric, as the spices continue to climb, our next one is a watermelon ghost that is around 641,000 Scoville heat units.
Wow.
A jalapeno is typically around 2,500. This one actually tastes better than the last one, in my opinion.
Oh, couldn't be worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheers. Nice, takes the heat too, but it tastes better.
Yeah, it's crazy how a watermelon sauce can be so spicy in my mind.
Yeah, it's got a little sour to it, and a heck of a lot of heat.
Yep, I think the ghost peppers are what bring in the sourness, but you're a bit of a DIYer. Excuse me, can you tell us about a couple projects you've worked on, or any projects you have coming up?
Yeah, a lot of the projects I do is one, you can save a little money. Being a pricing guy, it's always nice. And then two, again, that technical background, and I can get a little competitive, so I want to make sure I finish it too. It's kind of a race against myself.
Right.
But where it all comes to, so I've done a lot of things, fix some appliances, fix things around the house, but not working on anything exciting now, just on a deck. But where the fun things are when it comes into with some of your hobbies. For example, when I was out in Naperville in Chicago, I was really into audio, so I built a line level preamplifier and a few pairs of audio speakers as well, loudspeakers as well. And part of the fun of not just building it, but learning that. So you've got the electronics, the crossover, and all the better. Whoa. The better parts were coming out of Denmark. Oh, this is entertaining. The better parts were coming out of Denmark. So I do a lot of emails back and forth to some of the small company owners.
Yeah. And
to find out more and more about it, what parts to get and things. And so that was fun too. So you do learn a lot. Yeah. And then you mentioned Grand Rapids. When I was out there, there was learned about a furniture factory. And then years later, it went out of business. So I bought a bunch of veneers, and it gave me a chance to use the veneers finally, on the speaker cap. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, being a little resourceful, and having having those things outside of work. That's I fit your mind and your hobbies and your interests.
Yeah. So it's what I'd recommend for any do-it-yourself person is get the right tools. And because of that inherent cheapness of a pricing person, I've never had the right tools, so it's a lot harder.
That's fair. Eric, our next and last swing is called the Last Dab Apollo. It's called the Last Dab because typically people with this one put a little extra on the last swing. You don't have to if you don't want to.
But you'll be banned.
But everybody else has. So I tend to go for the schmear. Do you like? A little more controllable that way. Oh yeah. So I'm just gonna schmear a lot.
You gotta help me.
Yeah. Cheers.
Hey. Oh, that doesn't taste too good either.
It's not the best. You did it. You ate the last wing. Spices running through you. Fire breathing out your mouth, nose, ears. You completed all 10 hot sauces. I'll give you the floor for one last word. Anything you have to say? Anything you're looking forward to? It's all yours.
Great. Well, first thing I want to say is this is a big price to pay for a free meal. But other than that, I think as we integrate, I truly think we'll be bigger, better, and stronger. Much more so than any of the brands by themselves. That said, I know change can be very hard. So I think it's really important to celebrate the wins. You've probably heard a lot about what IT's been doing, what HR has been doing, what procurement's been doing. Sales has been doing a lot. Product's been doing a lot. Operations doing a lot. It's really important to celebrate that as we move forward with all these projects and hit the next level. That said, I think it's also very important to be engaged. I know that going through integrations at other companies, what really helped me was to be engaged. And so I strongly recommend, if you're out there and you have questions, or concerns, reach out to your manager, talk to your manager about it. Then if you have ideas on any of these things, I think reach out to the team leads on that, and your manager as well. Not only do I think it'll help you, but it'll help the company as a whole.
Absolutely, fully agree. Thanks, Eric.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Everyone, thank you for watching Hot Seat. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out via the What If email address. Thanks, and I hope everyone has a good day.
Thank you.
Great job.